It is Tuesday at 7 p.m. We've got a great show for you. We have Scotti Fraser, and we'll get to it right now. What's going on, Matt?
You know, just hanging out here on another Tuesday, as we always are, so we can bring you guys an amazing show. Welcome to everybody that joined us today, and we can't wait to get started. Send it right over to Blake.
You already know what it is. I'm here. I'm ready. You're here. You're ready. This is the Triple Threat Bet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royalty, and the crew is in the building. Oh, man, so I'm going to kick it back to you guys, and let's get this thing kicked off, y'all. Let's go.
All right. So, you know, it's another day. What we want to do is just jump right into this one. I think this one's going to be good for everybody. You know, often on this show, we talk about music heals the soul. Yep. And there's no truer statement for a lot of the guys that are on this podcast and everybody that joins with us. And Bob, you're right. The Cowboys do still suck. So there's that. So, you know, I really want to just get right into it. Bring on our guest. He's a 10-year veteran of the United States Marine Corps. He was a sergeant, did 2 deployments. He's got a feat. He's been married for 20 years. Being married 20 years and being a Marine, she is a very strong woman. But all kidding aside, 2 wonderful kids. He's from the state of California, moved to Texas a long time ago. I think he'll tell you he got here as soon as he could, right? That's how that works. He's a musician. He helps veterans. He's out in the community. He's just a pleasure to talk to and be around, and I just can't wait to get into his story. And so without further ado, we'd like to welcome Mr. Scotti Fraser.
How's everybody doing? Good to be here.
Scotti, what's up? Love the name, by the way. Love the name.
Yeah. But he added an I, so you know he added an I. And you've never even used your name on here.
You know, but it's Scotti. It is what it is. You know, Scotty's recognized Scotty's. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I've never met a bad Scotty. Matter of fact, there's like 5 of them in my family. Like it's my uncle Scott, it's me, it's little Scott, and then BJ's a Scott. So a whole lot of Scotts. There's Khalil Scott. There's a whole bunch of Scotts in our family. So any way that the Scotties come, we'll take them.
You got to stick together.
That's right.
There you go. So Scotti, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you coming on. I know that I'm excited to talk to you, and everybody's excited to hear about the things that you do and what you've gone through. So we like to just kind of jump in here and just get right into it, as they would say. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, what it was like growing up, and kind of lead up to that time where you decided it was time to be a United States Marine?
Well, I can tell you this, that I grew up in Northern California in the shadows of San Francisco. And my dad was a combat vet, and I'm the first of my family born in America. My family comes from Europe, and my dad immigrated here. And my dad served in combat a long, long time ago for the Brits. And even though my folks came from another place, they're the ones that taught me how to wave the flag, because they came from somewhere else that did not have the opportunities and the freedoms that we have here. And it really, really meant a lot to be in America. So they really taught me how to wave that flag and, to have that desire for service. So ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be 2 things, and that started pretty soon. And I wanted to be, like a rock star, like my favorite rock stars, and specifically a Marine. So I grew up in San Francisco area and played in bands, and was touring up and down the West Coast by the time I was barely out of high school, and played everywhere from Seattle to Los Angeles and everywhere in between. And those were some good days, and living on top ramen out of a van and playing rock and roll, and the time came where that had run its course, and I wanted the next big challenge. And the big challenge for me was the Marine Corps. And for me, it was specifically the Marine Corps. I felt that would give me the biggest challenge. And I just didn't want to do anything I didn't want to take any easy roads. I'm not saying the other branches are easy roads. I'm just saying for me, this was my road that I wanted to go down.
Yeah.
And I joined the Marine Corps in the 90s and stayed in. Got to go to some cool places like Hawaii, which sounds really, really luxurious until you're doing jungle warfare training up in the mountains there with the red mud and the rains and the humidity and all that. And I did time in Guantanamo, not inside the penned-in cages, but doing security there. And those were some good times in Guantanamo. And then 9/11 happened, and I found myself on D-Day, the first day of the push, going into Iraq with the Marine Corps Infantry, with the 1st Marine Division. And firefights and battles all the way till the fall of Baghdad, till I came back home. Saw and experienced front to face, front line, the visceral, graphic, bloody, and deadly experiences of frontline combat. And that really, really changed me. Coming back home, transitioning like a lot of veterans, combat veterans and otherwise, it was an absolute challenge. Things were different. My thinking was different. And I just had a lot of challenges coming back to the civilian world, leaving that brotherhood of my fellow warriors behind and going into the civilian world. I did not transition well. Having been a lifelong musician, it was always there for me. There was always that special song that reminded me of my brothers, reminded me of my time, reminded me of my childhood, whatever it was. And having been a musician most of my life, I went into doing music.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, brother, I'd like to rewind a little bit and then go back forward if you're okay. So growing up, Northern California, you're coming out of high school. So when did you start picking up instruments, playing music, and doing all that? Because it sounds like touring after high school, going up and down the coast. But when did you start actually playing music and find that was something? You always wanted to be a musician, but when did that start for you?
That was really from the first time I heard the first Kiss record or the first AC/DC record that I ever heard. There was something about it that called to me. So at about 14, 15 years old, I'd saved up all my lunch money. My parents weren't super, super supportive of me wanting to get a rock and roll guitar. So I saved up all my lunch money, went hungry for about 6 months at school, and took about 3 buses to the next city over to the Sears and Roebuck, and got my first guitar. And it was a love affair immediately.
So what was it like bringing that guitar home? What did your parents say when you walked in the door with it?
I don't really specifically remember. I'm sure Mom was pretty indifferent, and they're like, don't let it mess up your schoolwork and that sort of thing. I was already getting very distracted from school and falling in love with the guitar and trying to figure out how to get a girlfriend by singing and being some kind of rock and roller. So
that's awesome. So when you're touring up and down, you said that you came to a point where you decided that the next challenge needed to be had, and that was joining the Marine Corps. So is there anything specific in that journey in touring with music that made you decide you needed that next challenge? Or music has always been with you, but had that part of it kind of set its course? You didn't see anything going? What was the reasoning for wanting to take that next challenge at the time you did?
Well, I ended up in a rock and roll band, early 90s. And when that thing was going on, and we were very, very successful. It was a band called Mr. Hyde in San Francisco. And we were one of the big boys. And as far as popularity, and I was very blessed to be part of that. And we were doing really, really well. We were on the cusp of a record deal a few times. Our manager worked for Warner Brothers Records, and that style of rock and roll, Nirvana came in and just kind of knocked us off our perch. That style of grunge came in and kind of knocked that kind of long hair rock and roll off. And I'd felt that I'd kind of reached the pinnacle of what I was going to reach in rock and roll at that point. And frankly, there was a lot of temptations in that scene, especially in Hollywood and Seattle and San Francisco where I was playing. And, honestly, people started ODing and dying, and, some of the darkness started creeping into music, and it was time for me to get away from that. So, so the Marine Corps in some ways was my escape, but in some ways it was my next challenge to climb another mountaintop.
Gotcha. And so that do you think that feeling you had of trying to get away from that with all that stuff happened from growing up, seeing your parents? You said that they taught you how, wave the flag, do all that stuff. You think your upbringing helped you go, I need to get away from this? Or was it something that you'd like to talk about that made you really realize that you needed to do that?
Yeah, I'd always had that very patriotic side in me. There may have not been a super big element of that in the California rock and roll scene, as far as that kind of pro-military thing. As soon as Mr. Hyde started getting real popular and we started talking to record companies and stuff like that, I just knew it wasn't going to last that long. And I knew that, we had maybe 3, 4, 5 years, and it was something else was going to have to happen. I knew that I wanted to do both. I wanted to taste a little success in music, and I knew I also wanted to join service, and I had a feeling that maybe service might last a little bit longer for me. So it just ran its course, nothing super spiritual about it, just ran its course. And I went down to the Marine Corps recruiter, cut off the hair and took the earring out of the nose and the earrings out and tried to hide that, and down to the recruiter.
So I was going to ask you that. What is Marine Corps boot camp like for a rock and roll kid, right? Rock and roll forever has been that arena and that space where it's like rebellion. I don't care what you say. We're going to make our own decisions. We're going to go against that. Discipline and order is not really what you think of when you think punk rock. So when you're like going into boot camp, how was your transition in doing that? Like, was it a struggle for you, or because you wanted to do it so much, you found that you were able to adapt a little bit easier?
In some respects, it was absolutely freaking terrifying. I think I might have more nightmares these days about my drill instructors than I do about combat. But I accepted it pretty quick. I knew that as terrifying as it was, and as hard as it was in Marine Corps boot camp, that I knew maybe the quickest way out of there was to complete the service, or the complete boot camp, and graduate and become a Marine, instead of, falling by the wayside. But for me at that point, I mean, I'd put aside that rebellious rock and roll type of thing and really accepted the stringency and the strictness of the Marine Corps. And I just threw myself into it. I just jumped in the deep end with both feet. And I was so convicted that I wanted to be a Marine that I was willing to do whatever it took.
Nice. And so I remember talking to you a little bit earlier. So your MOS in the Marine Corps was infantry. So you joined. Did you go to the Marine Corps recruiter and go, I want to be an infantry soldier? Or did Matt just say, this is what you can get?
I wanted to. I went in there and I said, hey, I want to be one of the frontline fighters. I want to be a warrior. And nice. All of the Marines that I read about on Iwo Jima and Saipan and Okinawa and Quezon and all those things, I wanted to be one of those guys. So I was very, very specific. Like, put me in on the front line. I'm ready to go. Yeah,
nice. So you said that you did time in Guantanamo Bay, so just doing the security over there, and then you did one other deployment after 9/11, right?
Yes. To Iraq. Yeah.
Do you mind talking about that deployment? You want to get into it? Do you have any stories from anything you'd like to share?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very open talking about it, especially in this format. It was a very, very defining part of my life, and it was the best of times, the worst of times, the best of times with the best brothers. I'm still in contact with most of the Marines in the infantry squad that I led. I'm in contact with a lot of the Marines that were in my company, and it really defined. I mean, thinking about my music and what I do now, it really defined that mission. You know, it really ingrained in me this this commitment to service. And you know, like I said, you know, it was frontline combat, and it was visceral and graphic and dirty and messy, and it really bonded us brothers really strongly together, going through those hardships.
So did you make the decide to ease from service during that deployment or after the deployment? Did you already know that you were going to transition back to the civilian side before the deployment, or like what was your deciding factor? Because you know, a lot of people go, I did 10, I might as well do 20, right? Like you're at the halfway point. What was your reasoning, or what was the reason at 10? Like you separated out? Was it by choice, or did you have to? Like what was that all about?
My time on contract was up. I actually wanted to serve longer, and I wanted to redeploy, and I wanted to go back. So I went down to this light armored reconnaissance unit at Camp Pendleton and tried to re-enlist and go with those guys because I knew they were heading back over. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife of 20 years, was not thrilled with that. Not that she didn't love or respect my service. She was just worried that you know, that I might have been one of those Marines to jump on a grenade for somebody else, which is basically what any Marine I've ever met, you know, and would do. But you know, there had been some darkness that had set in, and as it turned out, you know, it was time to it was time to let that contract end and maybe go to the VA and check into some things that were going on with me. So, frankly,
do you ever talk about those things, or is it something that you kind of keep on the side, or are you open to talking about them? Because we talk to a lot of people that, you know, they go through a lot of things in that transition, and the reason they transition is different. And you know, we're probably like at a 50-50 where they were probably kind of where you're at. There's some things were happening. It was time to go. You needed some help. Do you talk about it?
I am in, to be frankly honest, I'm in PTSD therapy at the VA with my social worker at the VA on a regular basis, and have done so for years, and it keeps me in check. And you know, it's something that I hope all service people do to keep a check on themselves and do buddy checks and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's something that I actively work on a regular basis. I still have nightmares from my time overseas. And the interesting thing is that when I started getting back into music, I would wake up from these nightmares of combat at 3 o'clock in the morning. And instead of going to the bottle, I went into my home studio in the front of the house, and I'd grab a guitar and I'd start writing down these songs. And all these songs that kind of became this recent album of mine. So it was really cathartic, like self therapy kind of thing, actually.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that.
Really.
It takes a lot to do that. So we appreciate that you're open about it. Now, what was, knowing that you went to do that, what was your transition like from leaving the Marine Corps and then going into the civilian sector, right? Everybody has a different experience. I think Ty's had the best experience ever of transitioning, because when people are talking, you know, Ty, he got into one of those moments, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ty, where he was able to have a pretty good transition. He did pretty good. We don't always talk to people that have that same experience, but for you, do you feel like the transition was good, or what did you struggle with the most transitioning from service?
For me, I really struggled with kind of sense of purpose, a loss of sense of purpose. And I think a lot of veterans feel that way, regardless of branch or job. But I really felt a lack of sense of purpose. And, you know, that's springboarding into like Sergeant Records. That's why we do what we do. to connect veterans and connect veterans to back into the civilian world and connect people and make connections and get that camaraderie going, because I think a lot of us feel that lack of purpose once we transition out.
Yeah. And so were you immediately into the music right after transitioning? What year did you get out?
I got out in 2004.
And did you immediately go to music, or did you do like we all do and try to find the next thing that you can work at to, get by? Did you go into the civilian sector at all, or did you go directly to music?
I went directly into music. So we were in Orange County, California, right outside the Basilone Gate, the North Gate there at Camp Pendleton. And before we even moved to Houston, where my wife is from, my wife's a born Texan. I had looked up on Craigslist for bands in Houston, Texas, looking for a guitar player, and I found one. And so I had an audition for my first band already set up before I'd even loaded that moving truck and gone eastward to Houston.
Nice. That's crazy. So when you're making that trek across, what was it like to play in a band in the early 90s as a young guy before you joined the Marine Corps, and now getting out and in a sense going back to do the same thing, right? Like you're going back to be in a band. Like, what did you notice was the biggest difference in trying to do one versus the other after all the time you spent in the Marine Corps?
Well, I had a wife at this point, after getting out, a wife and a baby girl on the way, the first of my two, and at home. And, I just had more responsibility. Living out of a van, eating top ramen was not an option this time. So it had to look very differently. It had to be done more professionally. And I had to have focus on home life. And also at this point, it's like, I didn't really choose music. Music chose me. And I think it's something that God gave me, and it really, really saves my soul. And, I feel that hope through music. I like to say I'm still coming home, and I'm coming home one song at a time.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And I wasn't at that point probably really ready for prime time, ready for the civilian world. And I don't think the civilian world was ready for me. I was still operating as a frontline combat grunt Marine, so it took a while to learn, how to speak properly and not throw out the F word every other word, in the civilian sector. So like we do in service, but I knew it would have to be different because I had changed. So the love for music and the call to my heart for music was just as strong, but I had changed. So I just had to do things a little differently.
Nice. Well, I want to take a lot of time to get into Sergeant Records and what you guys do there and how you help. Like we've been fortunate enough, Becky, who's watching today. Hi, Becky. Hope the puppy's feeling better. Everything's going well. She's with my daughter right now, but we had the privilege to come meet with you guys at Pitch 25 and see a lot of what you guys do to raise stuff for the community. So I really want to get into what you guys do there, but I think at this point we should take a break, recharge, and then we can come back and get fully into Sergeant Records and what you guys are doing for veterans and their families.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're just getting into the good stuff. This is a Triple Threat Vet podcast, and we're in here with my man Scotti Fraser in the building. You know how we do. I'm glad to see you guys in here. It's Tuesday. I hope you guys had your tacos. I did. I had my Taco Tuesday. But this is the time right now for you to go ahead and call your friends and let them know that we're live. The boys are in the building, and we're here with my man Scotti Fraser. This is the Triple Threat Vet podcast. We're in here with my man T.Y. and my man Matt, and we're going to take a quick break, but you guys don't go nowhere. You come right back with us, and we'll see you in a few seconds. All right.
When love forgives. To me, one of the most powerful stories in the Bible about forgiveness is found in Numbers, the 12th chapter. When God himself informed Moses how his sister Miriam and Aaron had spoken out against him, God in his relationship with Moses decided that he was going to punish Miriam and Aaron. But Moses did something that day that many of us do not do. Moses decided not to agree with God. You have to have a serious relationship with God when you do not agree with the decision he made. And although Miriam was guilty, Moses could not handle the decision that God made.
This heart has known plenty heartache. A breaking heart can cause many tears. And this heart has known pride and joy and overcome many fears. And in this heart that's love for so many friends and family that I hold so dear. And in this heart there's goals and so many dreams to be fulfilled. But overall, yes it is, oh Lord, there are longings and places in me that only you can fill. The best place is where you are.
Your boy, they waiting on who next.
There's names on my arm, a tattoo of a broken heart, and the wounds from afar that leave these battle scars. There's a story in my skin that I never will forget. Hey, it's who we are. Tattoos and battle scars. Hey, it's who we are. Tattoos and battle scars.
Okay.
Here we go. Little sample.
Good song right there, man. So, real quick though, Ty, do you want to? I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the trailer that we just showed in there to let everybody know before we bring Scotti back on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got some future guests coming up, and we got some veterans doing some great things. So that movie trailer was from El Rico Tunstall. He's going to be in a couple of weeks. He's going to come on the show. He's a veteran in the food service in the Army, and he just made a movie, y'all. And it premiered this March of 2024. And we're going to have him on and talk about it. So we're going to be showing that trailer for a couple of weeks here, and then we'll put the link in our social media, and then we'll have El Rico on in a couple of weeks.
Okay, I knew there was something to it. I was like, oh, what happened?
Hey, listen, that guy's gonna meet Blake over here, and then they're gonna make a movie about that dude. Watch, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. I mean, we got a bunch of good stuff coming in. Like, I appreciate all the veterans out there making music. We got a guy named Theory making some music. We're gonna have him on at some point. You know, our YouTube channel is going great. So if you see our YouTube channel, Triple Threat Vet Podcast, like, subscribe, and follow, and share that with your friends. Let's get some more people out here for some of this therapy we do on Tuesday at 7.
Yeah. And speaking of therapy, we do it Tuesday on 7. Let's bring our man Scotti back in and get into what he does to help people on that arena.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll tell you, Scotti, that's my favorite song that you have is that one, the Tattoos and Battle Scars. And so I know that I can't tell the story about the song because you wrote it, you made it, but I know what it means to me. But when you were writing that song, like, what are you portraying there, and what are you trying to tell people about the music they're hearing when they listen to that song?
Well, that song is very autobiographical, and my intent for that song, it seems like mission accomplished, because you said that you have a story for it as well. All these songs I write, most everything I do, I write myself, and these are all my stories. But I write songs that I hope are other people's stories as well. My song I wrote, but all our story. So it's really cool. It shows me mission accomplished that you said you have a story for that song as well. I'm fully inked up, and some people, we all have a story in this life. Okay. So first and foremost, and I'll try and keep this to the point, but first and foremost, everyone in this life has a story, and every one of us, the story is important. Every story is a piece of what makes this world go round, is what makes this world what it is. And I wanted that song to really talk about the brokenness. These I tell my story through my tattoos and through my songs. Some people do it other ways. For me, this is the way I tell my story. This is the way I get it out of my head. And I just think that I'd like to see people listening to that song and having self-pride and being proud of that hard road they've been on. Everyone you meet is fighting some kind of battle that you may know nothing about. I know we've heard that one before. And those battles are important, and we all get wounded in this life. And whether it's a scar on your body from war, or from life, or a scar on your heart, or whether it's the marks on us of these tattoos that tell our story, those scars and those tattoos are so important. And I just hope that people look at themselves in the mirror, whatever your body shape, wherever you've been from, whatever you look like. I hope people can maybe listen to some of these songs and look in the mirror and just feel worthy and accepted, that their story is important. That's really the mission behind this song.
No, that's awesome. It's a like I said, everybody has a different thing that they remember, they hear when they hear music. I know that on our podcast a lot, and these other guys could probably talk more about it than me, but there's that song that you had when you did this, or that song that played in this memory. And there's a lot of times where music is what just brings that back. And when you can listen to music like you make, that kind of, you could point to a song like that and other songs that you've written and just tell somebody, listen to that, and you'll know a little bit more about me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just one of those things that you're able to express stuff that people really can't express themselves, like you said, right? Like, I could explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand. And then when you listen to a song, it kind of helps bring it in perspective. So, hey, real quick though, welcome to the show, Al Hero.
You're late for muster, sir.
With your granddad hat after you were freaking UA from muster. What are you doing over there?
First of all, suck my penis.
Well, for you, sir.
So, Scotti, I do want to get into. So, I know that you've done Sergeant Records for a couple years, right? That's been
yes.
That's come out in the last couple years. Now, was there a build up to that? What made you realize that could be the avenue that you give back to the veteran community and help people? Kind of walk us through like how that came about and how it kind of started out for you.
Well, as we talked before, that a lot of us, especially myself, I felt that kind of lack of sense of purpose, that lack of connection when I got out of the Marine Corps. So music had always been there for me. Like you said, we remember that song that got us through that hard time. I remember the songs that were cycling through my head as we rode up The Highway to Hell, From Kuwait to Baghdad. I still remember all those songs. But what I wanted to do was take music and find a way to bring people together, to put on music events, because that's what I'd done all my life. I'd put on concerts and I'd put on shows, and I built this kind of around the music, this camaraderie, this common sense of purpose, this common enjoyment. So I really, with the help of my wife and some other people, I wanted to really get veterans out of the house and give them a sense of purpose, give them a place to go, give veterans and first responders and people who've been through hardships and trauma and give them kind of a common place, kind of a base camp, and help people to make connections and to make new friends. And, we like to say, like, when you come to a Sergeant Records event, a lot of strangers walk in the door, and the only people walking out the door and leaving are friends. And that's the whole goal of it, is to build this sense of community camaraderie, get people out of their houses and get them connected.
Nice. Yeah, I think Ty, you talk about that quite a bit. Like there's a lot of times we'll go over events and Ty's our guy in the corner saying, I don't care what you do, just go do something, get out, go there, call me, I'll go with you. Right. Like it's very true. We need to get out and get around, because staying inside doesn't help. Right. It just doesn't help.
Yeah. I'll say this, like I deployed a bunch of times. I deployed 7 times. So I had songs that I would listen to when I was on the flight over. I had songs I would listen to when I got into Bagram or somewhere in Iraq. And like all those songs, if I hear them today, I can still remember where I was. So I definitely identify with what you're talking about there. What were some of your songs, not your personal songs, but some of your songs that really hold a lot of those memories, songs from other artists? Maybe I had a feeling when I listened to some of your music that AC/DC may have been an influence. So that's why I used that song. Plus it's a classic. And so what are maybe some of your songs that held some memories for you?
It's Raining Men.
Back to the boot camp shower stories.
It's Raining Men. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely Highway to Hell, AC/DC. I mean, that's what they called Highway 7 Route 1 up to Baghdad. They called it the Highway to Hell, that in the push 2003 when I was there. And that was one for sure. There was another one that was real special to me, and a Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area group from where I grew up, Metallica, the big boys on the block. And Wherever I May Roam, it just kind of reminded me of, like, we'd roll our vehicles, our Amtraks and our trucks up, we'd get in trouble, we'd fight through it, and we'd set up in the dirt and dig a hole in the sand and put that helmet down, and home was really wherever I roam. And then there's another one that was me and my best buddy, who was my medical corpsman, my Navy corpsman. And we would sing "We're on the Road to Nowhere." And it would be funny because maybe bullets would be flying, maybe there'd be danger and extreme hardship. And we'd just start singing and sing through it and stay positive. And we'd sing, "We're on the road to nowhere, come on and ride." And the thing that haunted me with that song was that was the only lyrics to the song that we knew, so they would kind of cycle that line over and over through our heads. But that was another that was pretty special. So
yeah,
there you go. So Sergeant Records been around for a couple of years. What's y'all's mission over there, and what is the big push for what you guys are doing? Like, give us a little bit about your mission and the things you guys are doing for that for the venture that you're on now.
Okay, well, Sergeant Records, our mission is to bring hope and empowerment to veterans and people struggling personal hardships through the healing powers of music. We're a music production company, we're a record label, and everything centers around bringing people together and healing folks through music. As you know, we put on events. and we'll do fundraisers. I think the event that we met at at Pitch 25 in downtown Houston, we were doing our Operation Baby fundraiser.
Yep.
As every one of our events is built around some sort of fundraiser with a beneficiary. So we were getting cases upon cases of diapers and wipes and all that stuff. Like we like to say, we're trying to cover your butts. And to Combined Arms Veterans Resource Center in Houston, and to the Anchor Point Teen Mom Center on the south side of Houston. And it was really, really cool to put on this music event and support, you know, these people that have kids and are struggling financially to just to afford basic essentials. Also, what we like to do at our events is to, if we have vendors, we like to spotlight veteran-owned businesses. We're all in this thing together. So veteran-owned businesses. We like to spotlight veteran service organizations, and we like to spotlight podcasts and people like you guys that do what you do. We really want to be big on supporting other organizations, podcasts, VSOs, companies, all that, because we really all go up together. You know, it's a team mission, and that's really what it's about. I do want to say, if I'm sorry if I'm going long-winded, but we just released our Christmas record. So it's a compilation Christmas record of myself on there and a couple other artists, 7 songs. And trying to give people a voice. It's mostly original Christmas music, and yep, that's one of the songs on there. And you know, would love folks to go on. It's on all streaming platforms worldwide. But those are the things that we're doing at Sargent Records, and just trying to help some other people. You know.
So one thing I think is interesting, though, Scotti, that you didn't bring up, because most people that do great things the way you do it, you don't like to brag, right? You're not a bragging guy. But one thing that I realized when I went to a couple of the events that you guys put on and did that, not only was your connection to the veteran community in the form of small business, helping for a cause, but you guys showcase a lot of veterans that just want to play music for other people. It's not saying that you have to do this full time, but if you have a song to sing and you want to sing it, the one thing I noticed is like there was a huge community of veterans there, or like kids of veterans that they could sing a song that made them think about their parents or their granddad or something like that. And so I thought that was really interesting that, you know, you're a record label, you know, you have all the music that you have, but you still take the time to bring people in that just want to sing a song. Right. It's right. They just want to get some kind of message out there. So, you know, how do you guys go about doing that? Do you have a lot of people that reach out to you? I'm sure you do now, but in the beginning, what was the process like to find these veterans that had songs to sing and you wanted to put on events with them?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're constantly actively hunting down veterans and veteran supporting artists. And, you know, I just wanted to put shows on to connect people, to get them out of their houses, get them together, and really to give people a voice. You know, you've got all those thoughts in your head from service, like whether in service or, like you said, someone whose dad served and is no longer with us. We've got a gal that's on this record whose son is an active duty Navy sailor. And all of these stories, you know, are so important. And we just want to give a voice to people, you know, just give a voice and heal folks and connect us all.
Yeah. So when you,
Matt,
yeah,
I want to say something real quick. So I agree that the biggest thing that I found I long for, and I've written down some notes here, sense of belonging. People need a mission. And then whenever we have family loss, and oftentimes in the military, family can extend to the people that you serve with. So we've lost a lot of people. We want to give a voice to people, but what is a time that you can remember just absolutely feeling that human connection where the lights went on and you really knew that you had helped somebody? How does that make you feel? And without going into any names or anything, can you describe kind of how that worked for you?
So, I'm a touring artist, and I tour through Texas, and I do my own music as Scotti Fraser solo, Scotti Fraser band with my band and all that. And what really hits me is that at really every one of the events that I perform at, and most of my music is centered around veterans, military service, and sacrifice, devotion, and all that. And at every event, someone comes up to me after the show and says, "Hey, Scotti, thanks for singing that song. That reminded me of this. That connected me to this. That was my song too." And that's really it for me. That's mission accomplished. When people say, "Hey, that makes me feel like I'm closer to coming home," or someone finally put my story into a song. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And that's the total reward of it. That's the total reward of it.
Yeah. I partook in a lot of bands while we were deployed, and I know that helped mentally get us through. We've had some guests on that were in the bands with me. So thank you very much for sharing your music. Thank you very much for connecting with people and sharing your story. And,
First, Ty.
Yes, sir.
Scotty's a disappointment. I just want to throw that out there. Like when I seen his name and it was Scotti with an I, I was like, oh, it's going to be some hot chick. And then this motherfucker is the one on here. I'm like, really? That's the only reason I came on. I was like, I'm going to be late. I just won't even get on tonight. Like, and then I was like, but Scotti with an I sounds like she might be Scotty Hottie. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, thanks for ruining my night, Scotti.
Sorry, I don't have that kind of game or those kind of looks, but
I even put extra deodorant on. I was like, I'm gonna be ready for this. Because,
right.
Here we are
for this crap. Yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know. It might be a dual disappointment. I think Scotti may be a little disappointed in you as well.
Hey, that's the story of my life. That's the story. Hey, bro, my wife's disappointed in me.
It's all good. We're both Iraq vets, and I got that beard
bro.
envy on you. So.
Yeah, grow you want, Scott. I bet you can grow nice. Let it go, bro.
Nice. So, Scotti, what's the future look like for you guys? Do you have any events that are coming up? Anything people can help you guys with? Anything that they can get involved, or if anybody wanted to get involved to help you guys, how would they do it?
Well, things just got really busy as we go into, the season of Christmas and Veterans Day and all that. So I'll be traveling, doing some festivals throughout Texas over the next couple of weeks. Going to Georgetown, Texas for the OP Veteran Vet Fest. And then up in Magnolia, I want to give a shout out to Veterans Helping Veterans up in Magnolia, Texas. I'll be doing their festival on the 16th. And, I've got into this connection with the USO. I've done 4 events for them now. So I'll be doing more events, hopefully, for the USO. But a really a big special one coming up is I'm flying with my family to Washington State. And I'm going to play on December 17th, the Old Soldiers Home in just outside of Seattle in Washington. And it is a home where World War II, Vietnam, Korea vets live, old veterans that have no family, nowhere else to go, and some of which are on hospice. And I'm going out there with my buddy Big Grizz, who's also a podcaster, and we're going to put on a concert and a big dinner for these 135 veterans that live at Soldiers Home. And what we've done also is, with the help of my wife, who really is kind of I'm the sergeant, she's the first sergeant, and we built a Amazon Operation Christmas Veteran gift registry, where we're trying to get Christmas gifts, which most of what these guys and gals want are basic essentials: soap, deodorant, socks, toothbrushes, things like that. And we built this registry I can give you the link to. And most of the stuff only costs a couple bucks. I know times are tough, but we're trying to get some Christmas gifts to give to these old veterans when I go up and perform right before Christmas.
That's awesome. Yeah, send the link to us. We'd be happy to share it. We'd be happy to publish it. And I mean, we can share it all the way up to the event, because if anybody knows Amazon, they'll deliver it tonight. You know what I mean?
Like, right. I'm trying to send that right now as we speak. So
Yeah.
They won't deliver little people. I reached out. I called customer service. I was going to have one delivered to Scott's house, but apparently that's frowned upon. I was trying to help him get out of his phobia. And apparently, if you call the customer service and request a little person, they get all pissed off and offended. Like I, was talking about somebody's mom. It's crazy, bro. Like just one little person. You can't send one little person to Scotty's house.
No.
There you go.
Like this needs one, bro.
Hey, Scott.
I will tell you on that note, just to kind of put an end cap on it, that if you go onto Amazon and you search Sargent Records or look in the registry section and search Sargent Records, you'll see our Christmas gift registry come up. And all of those items that people will purchase they're just a few bucks, and they will auto ship to our connection in Washington, so we can get them to the veterans there.
There you go. Well, I mean,
Hey, I got a question for Scotti first.
Yeah.
Just so I think I know, but I'm just wanted you to say it in your words. Why do you give back so much to veterans? I mean, we all serve. Some of us served and we get out and we just kind of remember veterans and we just kind of know that we belong to the community. But then there's some who get out and they give back and they are passionate about making sure that they give back to the veteran community and do things for veterans and are just passionate in that realm. Is there something specific that ties you to that, or why is it so important to you to give back to that community?
T, that's a good question, and it's a very, very simple answer for me. I lived through, like I mentioned before, extremely graphic and violent and bloody experiences for my time in the push in 2003 in Iraq. A lot of people didn't come back home. A lot of people got seriously hurt, and I made it back home. So really, what I'm doing is my mission is I'm just paying for that plane ticket home. I'm just so grateful to have lived through it and to have my faculties and fingers and toes and all that. I'm just paying for that plane ticket home, brother. That's all I'm doing.
My man. Yeah, I just thought that was I thought that was important. I knew the reason why. Excuse me, I had some Taco Tuesday still stuck in my throat. I knew it was important, but I want to, you saying that just justified my means. I knew you was a great person, but I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to bring it out. Matt does a good job of pulling these things out, but I just had to hear it for myself. So
Well,
you go into my good Scotty bucket.
T, to be completely honest, I'm not some guy that's got it all figured out. Like I said, I'm finding my way back home every day, and I have my challenges and I have my battles. I'm just as broken as anybody else, and having this mission gives me a sense of purpose and helps me to heal. So really, it's almost self-serving. I'm really kind of healing myself from the emotional wounds of war by trying to do stuff for other people. So.
Yeah. My man.
Well, Blake, I feel it was really dirty of you to ask him such a nice question before you rip him through a hot seat and put him on a hot seat. Yeah. I see what you did there, though. I see what you did.
It's the setup.
He did. Hey, he set
that was
up.
The softball. He gave you the softball real quick, and then here comes the thunder.
By the way, none of those questions are going to be as good as that one. You know what I mean? Like, here we go.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Scotty's ready. Scotty to Scotty. We can get it hotty.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's go.
Heaven help me.
It won't be too bad, Scotty. I don't. My job here is not to hurt you. It's just to ask you a couple questions. Give the people a better understanding of my man, Scotty. All right, so since we're on the topic of Scotties, and people always say, Great Scott. You know what I mean? Great Scott. Was that Batman that said it? Great Scott. So, in retrospect to Great Scots, can you give me 5 of your favorite Scots?
Scott Stapp from Creed.
Okay, that's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's not many of us. Give you one.
What about the one that played alongside of Michael Jordan?
Oh, name's just escaping. On the Bulls.
Escaping, slipping, Scotty.
Fucking Scottie Pippen. What the fuck?
Scotty
bro?
Pippen. That's another Scotty. It's not even a Scott. You threw me with the Scott.
This is Scotty.
It's a
Yeah,
Scotty.
great Scott. Scotty is it? They're all the same. Scotty, Scott, any. That's two Scotties. Come on, man. From Scotty to Scott.
Francis Scott Key.
He's old enough for this one. Scott Baio.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me that one. So that's 4.
My man Tom said
Beat
Scotty.
me up, Scotty. Thank you for the lifeline.
He getting lifelines already? I see you, Todd. All right, that's 4. Give me one more.
Oh, that wasn't 5. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dang, you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
Good.
I even know Scott Joplin. That's old school.
Right. Jazz. Yep, Jazz. Yep.
But you can take that one if you want. Or if you want to figure out. No, I'm not even going to give you that one. You got to get your own. I gave you one. You got to give me one more Scotty. Out of all the Scotties in the world.
How about the Scotty Dog?
Okay. We'll take it. I'll take it. All right. Okay, here we go. What would someone have to do to you for you to lose respect for them?
To be non-loyal, to turn their back.
Okay.
Yeah, to turn to turn your back. Yeah.
All right. At what age do you feel like you had life pretty much figured out? At what age were you when you kind of felt like you had a grasp on what this life thing was all about?
I'm still working on that one, to be totally honest with you.
All right. So you still haven't figured it out?
I don't have all the answers, but I will tell you at about 30 years old in combat,
Okay.
that was eye-opening, and that's when I kind of really understood the fragility, the fragileness of life.
Got you.
And maybe even a little bit later, when my kids were born. You
Okay.
know, that kind of was eye-opening.
All right. And everybody in the chat, if you guys that's in the chat, I want you guys to answer these questions too, along with Scotty. All right. But for you, Scotty, one-on-one, you're a military veteran, family man as well. Is blood thicker than water?
Absolutely. Those devil dogs I served with over there are they're family. You know, those are absolute family. So absolutely. I've got a photo on the side of my fridge of my infantry squad that was taken in Baghdad. And before I make my coffee every morning, I pray for those guys and I think of them. So blood is thicker than water, my friend.
So let me rewind that. So if you say, in retrospect to saying blood is thicker than water, right?
Mhm.
When people ask that question, they're saying, when you say blood, meaning family, right? Your family, your bloodline, right? But then the water would be anyone outside of your bloodline. But
Okay.
if I'm correct, based off of what you're saying blood is not thicker than water because you don't feel a difference in between the brothers that you serve with in retrospect to your own brothers, right?
You can call it that way, but I will tell you this: the brothers that I served with are blood.
I got you. Okay.
We all spilt our blood together. It all mixed.
Okay, I like the way you clarified that up. I
Yeah.
got you.
Our blood all mixed. It's all the same blood. Blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out. I like the way you did that. Just for clarification for those in the chat. You guys can answer in the chat as well. All right. Scotty, what are your words of advice that you would give to someone who feel like giving up?
Two simple words, and it's on the banner behind me: never surrender. And I'll look straight at people right now and just say, you're important. Your life matters. All of us, if we're in a room, the room is a better place with all of us in it. This world is a better place with you in it. As soon as you leave the room, that room is a lesser place. I would just say, keep the fight, never surrender, never quit. And you are needed, you are worthy, you are important, and you can make a difference.
My man, I like that. I like the way you did that. In the chat, you guys can give me some advice too. We're gonna need these. We're gonna need these. Somebody needs to hear this. All right, Scotty. Here we go. If you were to go to sleep tonight and wake up with a superpower, what would that superpower be and why?
Superpower.
Only get one.
I just get one.
Yep.
Well, I don't think it would be some superpower to make money happen, because I don't think money can make you solve all the problems in life. But I would like to be able to have a superpower of touching people, whether it's physical or emotional, and make pain go away. Like healing be my superpower. I don't know if there's a healing.
I'm touching people too. I'm with him. Let's touch people.
This guy, man. Okay, so your superpower would be healing hand.
The healing hand. Yeah.
There you go. Right. All right, Scotty. I want you to think about this one. When was the last time that you cried, and why? Not shed a tear. Not when your eyes get watery, you shed a tear. But when was the last time that you cried, and why?
Last time I cried, and I actually am an emotional guy. I cry fairly often. But Sunday night, I was in a pretty bad car wreck, and it's an absolute miracle that I'm with you guys right here. Our car is completely totaled. Somebody ran a red light and hit me. And when I was in the emergency room, my family, my wife and my son were there with me. And just seeing that loyalty in my son that he used to go home, and my wife and my son stayed by my side, it brought me to tears.
Oh yeah, shit down there brought me to tears, and I wasn't there. It's just like you said, man. The room is better with you in it.
Room is better.
Better with you in it. Hell with that car, you can get another one. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's just a thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But you're still here. I know that's an emotion. Sometimes when you realize what you almost didn't have,
right,
that can bring the emotion out. Okay. All right, here we go. You couldn't give me these 5 Scotties, but I know you can give me your 5 top rock bands of all time. No particular order. I need the 5 top.
Okay.
Let's go.
Kiss.
Okay.
AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
You can see Led Zeppelin. They were a big influence on me. Let's pick a good one here. I'm going to go with Social Distortion.
All right. That's 3.
Kiss, AC/DC, Social Distortion, Led Zeppelin for 4.
Okay.
And
this was got to make the list.
Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. All right, I like Bruce. Me and Bruce Springsteen had the same.
Yeah, American rock. American rock.
Okay. All right. Here we go. If you can turn back the hands of time on one event, what would you turn back? Give me that. Give me a little bit of that. If there's one thing that you can just take a moment and flip it around and fix it, what would it be and why?
It would be it'd be wow. Hey, there's
yeah.
Try not to be a man of regrets, but
yeah, we gotta flip it. I like this heat. I like this heat.
Yeah, I'm on the hot seat for sure right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like that, Bob. I like that. Thanks, Bob. probably would have spent more time with my dad before he passed.
There you go.
Sorry to give you an emotional one, but I would have spent more time with my dad before he passed.
I like it. All right. Here goes the one that everybody's waiting for. I already know the answer to this one.
Oh my gosh.
I already know what it is. I know it. So I'm not even going to let myself get depressed. But I gotta fix myself to say it. This is for the Triple Threat Vet podcast toll. I'm almost, makes me sad to say it. But Scotti, in your opinion, who's better, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Prince. Prince was a multi-instrumentalist. Michael Jackson was an incredible dancer, had an incredible voice, but Prince played every instrument, and me as a musician, he played like every instrument on all of his records. Just absolute incredible guitar player, and orchestrated and wrote all of those albums.
Yeah.
So, and actually, this is what I'd like to go back in time to do if I can get a do-over, is take one of those rock bands out of that 5 and put Prince in there.
Oh man, damn! I knew I messed up. When I knew who was, I saw early in the podcast. I knew this was going to be.
I'll take Springsteen out and I'll put Prince in there. How about that?
Damn, you even took out Bruce Springsteen?
I don't know.
There we go. All right, Ty, you know what to do, man.
Want your head to time, yo.
Oh, baby, move it, baby.
It's almost a football score right now. 22-17. Come on, Michael Jackson. Guys, where you at? Yeah, all right. Well, Scotti, the last question I have for you, that it wouldn't be fair if I didn't ask you and I asked everybody else. You're a musician, man. You're a rock and roll star, the whole thing. I know you've been around doing great things around the world, but this is our podcast, man. And you know, I love my brothers, and we always want to improve and do better. So I ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10 in podcasts, the podcast world, where would you rate our podcast and why?
I would rate it really high. You know, this hot seat is a whole different thing that I haven't done before. I think you guys touch on you know, some of the intensities, like my time in combat, and we talked about that. And we talked about the hopeful stuff with music. And I think you guys were really seriously interested in Sergeant Records and our mission, what we do. I don't think you guys are fluffing or anything. I think you guys are really, really concerned with what we do, and I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man. Well, you know, what could we do to be better?
I think it's legit and honest, and it shows, you know.
All right, I'll take that. Well, you officially made it out of the hot seat. Appreciate you being in there. I knew it was going to happen, fellas. I knew it when he told me that he played instruments. I knew it. I heard it in the beginning, but I had to ask the question because I got to keep the tolls honest. I got to do it. But I appreciate you, Scotti.
Appreciate you.
So sad. So sad. Yeah,
oh man.
Well, Scotti, we appreciate you coming on. It was great to hear your story. I hope that everybody takes these links that we put in today and they reach out and listen to some of your music. So for all you veterans out there, you know, sometimes you hear that song and it takes you back and it helps you remember not just the things that you went through, but the people that you went through it with, right? That's one thing that I like to remember in music sometimes, is not what I went through, but who was there, right? Like who went through that with me and remembering those people. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And if there's ever anything we can do for you, please reach out. We would love to. We will, you know, advertise your link for the home in Washington to try to help you guys get as much as you can to make those vets have a good Christmas. They definitely deserve it.
Right.
And you know, as we're leaving out, is there anybody that you want to shout out? Anything that you want to promote? Is there anybody that you'd like to say hi to before you get out here?
You know, I just really appreciate you all having me on here. I just want to throw out that if anybody wants to check out my music or likes Tattoos and Battle Scars, there's a full album and 6 singles that are like that. And it's ScottiFraser.com if you want to find more of the music, and my stuff is streaming on all streaming platforms worldwide. So it's really easy to find, and get on there, listen for free, and check out the videos on YouTube, and hopefully it's inspirational. I just like to give a shout out to some of the people that inspire me, like my buddy Tucker Hart here in Houston, Texas, and he's a warrior that never quits, and doing a lot of good stuff in the community as well. Someone that y'all should check out. And guy battles through a lot of pain and does a lot of good stuff for other people, and is very inspiring. So, I'm just very honored to be on here. Check us out at sergeantrecords.com. And if you get a chance to see the Sergeant Records Operation Christmas Veteran Registry, I know it's tough times financially, but if you're able to, and you feel called to get some stuff, and maybe some of these veterans last Christmas, and we just want to give them a good Christmas concert and some good gifts. So,
yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Oh man, it was a pleasure meeting you, Scotty. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, Scotty, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll be in touch with you. Thanks for sharing your
really,
story.
really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And keep your eyes peeled, because we're going to be doing more local stuff for veterans around here in Houston, Texas.
We're in. Just let us know.
Sure. Just let us know.
Love to have you out.
All right.
All right. Scotti Fraser, ladies and gentlemen.
Semper Fi. Thank you.
Bye, brother.
Good guy. Another
Oh
one.
yeah.
That's a great man pulling these guys in, and I'm excited because I get to meet great people every week.
Yeah, man. One thing that I didn't get to tell him when I was on there is he was naming influences, man. And for me, for whatever reason, there's a couple songs that he plays when you listen to them, you can tell it's got like a California vibe to it, man. It's always upbeat. It's always, a song that you can dance to or move around to. But when you listen to the words, you're like, dang, man, that's like a super deep song. But I was like tapping my feet to it. And I was
can we say like Florida vibes instead of like California vibes? Somebody wants some fucking California vibes. Can we be like Florida vibes? Like,
bro.
It's sunny here too. And it's fun. We have Disney World. Can we have like Colorado
sure.
vibe?
If he was
some other
from
vibe? We're not
Florida,
California.
California love.
Yeah.
Listen,
Listen, he's doing a lot of good things. So if you can reach out and help and do anything for the stuff he's doing, man. He's helping moms that need diapers. He's helping veterans get Christmas presents. I mean, what more can you say, man? He's a good dude all the way around.
I would say we're a lot alike. I help single moms a lot of times when I go to like Sammy's Gentleman Club. I be helping them single moms. For real. So me and Scotty got a lot
you
in
still
common.
go to Sammy's, dude? That place is still around.
First of all, I'm known in Sammy, so I don't even want to hear your shit, man.
I believe you.
Me and Scotty, he was in 03. I was there in 03. He's helping single parents. I'm helping single parents. We're doing a lot of the same shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Damaged and broken moms. I got y'all. Y'all need something.
Listen, Al's new slogan is helping single moms $1 at a time.
Todd said it. You heard Todd from the backside, from the back. Bro. I got him, Todd.
Yeah, you about took Todd out with that.
Hey, sorry I was late tonight, fellas. It's been a pretty tough week. Been a tough week. My son's no longer going to be in the Army. They're booting his ass out. Didn't take
already, bro. He ain't been there but 37 minutes.
I'll tell you what,
hurt, bro. He got injured. And now
but let's be honest, Al, because I'll say it so that it's not like a homer opinion on it, right? If you get hurt in boot camp, then you just stay in boot camp and heal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be making up some bullshit
That's what
to
I
let
said
some
too.
kid get out of boot camp because you don't want him there. Like, let's think about this for the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines. First and foremost, you guys got a fucking recruiting problem.
Yeah.
And to take a kid that just got hurt that could rehab,
He's 17 years old.
Yeah,
we got
man.
grown men who ain't willing to serve their country and raise their right hand.
It just angers me to know that there's excuses on
yeah.
why that's happening. It's just it's
well, they're going back and saying, well, it was a pre-existing injury, even though they had the medical records that showed he didn't have any issue. But I think I think they're gun shy in this new military and they don't want to have to pay for it. So they're pretty much going to.
Some of the best sailors, soldiers, Marines, and airmen came out of.
Bro, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk
Look at
about
us, we're here.
A 17-year-old kid who's like, I'm willing to serve my country in a very unsettling time in our nation, right?
Yeah,
Across, it's crazy, and they're gonna. But you know what? everything happens for a reason. It's all in God's plan. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
that.
but also, Al, let's think about this, bro. Like, honestly, his dad was a freaking recruiter. So his dad knows anything
know.
that's ever happened, you got to document it. And for them to say some bullshit like this was already there, like, are you kidding? Like, so you guys really don't care. You don't want to staff it up. We don't want to protect anything. I'm just mad about it for Mason.
Oh,
dude.
bro,
I feel like.
Well, I mean,
you
this
know.
was kind of his shot at like making something, you know, in his opinion, making something of his life. And, you know, he comes from a long history, a long tradition of family service, right? My great grandfather served when he came over here from, you know, wherever, Cuba or wherever he came from. He served. My dad served. My granddad served. I served. Both my brothers served. Austin served. And Mason wanted to live up to that legacy. And now they're pretty much saying he can reapply in 5 years. Like, come 5 years.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
if anybody in the state of Florida is listening that wants to do it, reach out to your congressman, reach out to Ron motherfucking DeSantis and tell him that shit's bullshit and have them investigate that, man, because you know, some kid that's been there and gave you all the information you need and not
he's a TRICARE baby, bro. He's a TRICARE baby. They have
everything. It's all there. They
have everything under the sun, dude. It's crazy. But it is what it is.
It goes to this. You say that you need people, and then you do something like this. So the question is,
I'm going to start a militia.
Really
I'm going to start a militia, and I'm going to make him
I'm
going to start a militia, and I'm going to make him my grenadier.
Let him stay. You don't want Al Hero starting a militia.
I'm going to start a motherfucking militia. And I'm gonna make him my grenadier, and we're gonna go fuck some shit up.
Nah, you don't want that stuff.
Nah, for sure.
You don't want that heat.
No. So yeah, my bad about being late, folks. I had a bunch. I'm closing on a house in a couple of days. It's been crazy. My wife's been sick, so it's been nuts.
It'll be all good. Hey, so who do we have? Who do we have coming up?
So upcoming, we have Ben Monet.
Damn.
U.S. Army Special Forces Ranger, combat diver, and he's going to talk about some addiction treatment. He works with Treehouse Recovery to help those veterans with addictions that have come through, and going to share a story about his service and Treehouse Recovery. Should be a fun time.
Nice.
Great story.
Love it.
All right.
Man, I was so close again this week, y'all. So close.
Man, I was so this week, man. I was like, bro,
I'm done with Kentucky. I just want to say that too. I'm done with fucking Kentucky. They've let me down I'm so fucking done.
I should have went with Texas A&M. I knew I should have.
Listen, man, I told you guys. I got a lot of shit wrong this week, though.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. LSU came out like they were real LSU, and then I don't know, bro. But damn, Texas A&M is real deal. I'm just gonna tell you, they're a real deal, man. I am now watching them guys with a different set of eyes because
man,
they took their punch in the chin the week one, and after that they're like, you know what, we ain't taking that no more.
But you notice what they did though in that game is that the new coach that we have is not afraid to change shit up when he needs to, right? He's like whatever's going to make that chemistry, right? So if you notice, the starting quarterback was struggling for A&M, and they put
switched him out.
The freshman backup in. LSU didn't prepare for that guy, man. He was running like he scored the 3 touchdowns when the game was on. Like they weren't ready for him.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about it, man. He was playing for his life. He's playing for his spot. Like he knows what it was like to get pulled out.
And yes, Becky, Blake is jumping on this train.
I am too. I'm with Blake, and I don't care if Kentucky played. A high school team. I ain't pulling for Kentucky, bro. I'm done. I'm done with fucking Kentucky starry asses, bro. They let me down every year. Every year, I'm like, they look good, and then I'm like, damn, bro, what the?
Hey, Ty, I will tell you though, looking at this right here, I have a little bit of like anxiety plus respect. The fact that you are sticking with freaking Josh Allen, dude. I thought we were replacing this dude.
There ain't nobody else available on the waiver wire right now that can do anything near Josh Allen. The funny thing is, Josh Allen is like
bro.
He's the fourth,
not in fantasy, dude.
He's the 4th ranked quarterback. Quarterbacks are really low this year in PPLs, so they're
somebody
like 5th ranked quarterback. So I can't.
Somebody had Jameis Winston on their bench, and they're probably crying right now. They are crying because Jameis came out and looked like. I don't even know. It's like Michael Vick in his prime. James
He
Wade
always
is
has
most
one
heavy.
game, dude.
He's the
One
most
game.
up and down quarterback.
Oh,
that I
he
know.
is. He is. He's gonna come out
Yeah,
next
but
week
when
with
he's
those
up,
7
though.
interceptions.
Yeah, but when he's on his game, he plays.
Bro, that dude ate a whole batch of crab legs right before he played that game. That's what he did.
Must
James
have.
just came out looking like a
His,
chick.
Straight
that
up out the
pre and
Publix with
post
them
game
bitches.
motivational speech, I still don't know what he said, and I've listened to it.
Nobody
like 5
does,
times.
but it's
Nobody
provocative.
knows.
Yeah,
That's
it
provocative.
probably
It
gets
keeps the
people
people
going.
going.
Gets him
Get
going.
some people going.
So anyway, in fantasy, we're overall record 5-3. We did play the worst 2 teams in the league the last 2 weeks. So we took a game from Chuck Walker, Seawalk. Been
Dang,
playing with
he's
these
on a
guys for a bunch of
6-game
years.
losing streak.
Yeah. Well, he probably auto drafted his team. I'm not for sure. But
I
anyway,
know.
we've won 2 in a row, and we're now in
He's got
second place in the
Nick Chubb on his team.
league.
Of course, he auto drafted.
Yeah. Well, he was injured at the beginning of the year, so yeah, maybe.
I'm with
he's
Bob.
still-
Bob,
we're
hey,
tied for second right now.
Bob is right. Hey, it's great. Dallas Cowboys still suck, and Chicago lost on a Hail Mary, and that shit was
Bro.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jaden Daniels. Do you
Bro,
like how
that
he
dude-
answered that question after the game? They were like, yo, what were you thinking when that happened? Jaden Daniels was like, I didn't even know it happened. I heard cheering, and I was like, I think we did something real good.
Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy, dude.
Lion ass. He was looking at the thing the whole time, bro. He knew what was going on.
I will say,
The New England Patriots defense for our fantasy team here.
well, I will say before we go to college, for all of my Colorado Denver Bronco fans worldwide, I know that we got Jip. We got the light skinned Russell Wilson. We got the light skinned version. Pittsburgh Steelers got the black part of damn Wilson. And I don't understand why. But it's okay. We're all right. We understand what it was about. But I don't know why they issued us the light skinned guy. But that's okay. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. I just feel like we got cheated and beat it. He took our money and ran from us.
You ain't
Now
get the
he
light
wants
skin
to-
version.
Yeah, but are we
God, you
saying
got the-
this
you
off
got
of
the-
like
you got the-
one game? Dude?
Nah, bro, you got the black and knees version. You didn't get the whole light skin version, bro. You didn't even get, you ain't got a whole lot of Japanese quarterbacks, bro, in the NFL. Hey, you got
what we got.
black and
We
knees,
got-
bro.
Yeah, man, we got the damn the great value, or what is it? Not great value.
Timu, got that Timu.
Yeah, we got the
You got that
Timu edition.
And my only saving grace this week, you guys, is that everybody else jacked up on the A&M pick, and we were all wrong in the Kentucky pick. Otherwise, I would have took.
Bro, Kentucky,
lot
I'm
of
done.
back
I'm not
space
picking.
on
I
this
don't
one.
care if
Big
Kentucky's
smack.
playing Austin P and ever. I'm like,
Although,
Austin
listen, real quick though, 100%. If everybody is in town Thanksgiving week, we need to go tailgate the Texas A&M game. 100%.
All right, let's do it.
Being out at that, so we went to tailgate there this weekend. So being out at the tailgate, we had a generator, we had a TV, we had food, we had some beer, playing cornhole, and just like hearing the stadium. My wife Becky just kept looking around, and she was like, "Do you hear them?" And you can just hear the whole stadium rocking, man. When you got 108,826 people, might as well call it 109 at that game, and that was the Texas. That was at Texas A&M LSU game. Just imagine how many extra bodies they're going to squeeze in there for the UT game. It's going to be insane, dude.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's
So
going to be a good time.
Here's the results from last week. Notre Dame beat the brakes off of the Navy. I don't think we expected that
Who
one.
picked the Navy? Somebody did.
I did, dude. Come on, I was trying to separate myself.
Mhm.
Texas
Matt
A&M
did.
beat LSU. Colorado
Yeah.
beat Cincinnati, and of course,
Fucking luck of the Irish.
So let's-
5 times. Kentucky lost to Auburn.
Don't skip over that too fast. You see, I got my blenders on. You see the CU hat. You see my man right here. Let's talk about it.
I got a question
Let's
for you,
talk about
Scott. No, and it's not a funny question. It's a real question,
Yeah.
about Colorado.
Okay.
So Colorado, I'm a statistics person. I look at statistics, right? So I look at their schedule, right? They have this year they have a very soft, which it benefits them, right? They have a very soft schedule and a very soft conference. If let's say they win out the rest of the conference, and they win their conference championship, would you honestly, as a football player, not a Colorado homer, would you really think that they could compete with anybody in the top 5 currently?
When you say the top 5,
The
the top
current
5,
top 5 list
Mm,
right now.
just
Maybe
being
not.
honest. No, just being honest.
Not
Right,
right
now,
now?
no.
Okay,
Being
I'm
honest,
glad-
right now, no. I would not right now, no. Because when you look at the top 5, these teams like Texas A&M, they're too big. You know,
Oregon.
Oregon, those players are too big, and
Currently, I get it.
Currently, and
I will
I
say
still
this,
think that we may be missing like 3 more pieces. I think we're missing 3 more pieces, and
I'm gonna say I jumped off, and I will say this: Travis Hunter, I will give him his flowers this week.
Give it to him.
Now, I still don't think. I think he's the best college football player because he plays both ways, and he had an outstanding game. But I'm still riding high on my boy. Janny. That dude is just, man, he is so nasty. And then that quarterback out of Miami is nasty too, man. I think it's going to be a tight Heisman race. I think he deserves to be in the race for sure, though. I mean, after what he's done.
Think about the college football season as we've gone already, right? Notre Dame loses to Northern Illinois. Texas got beat by OU, who is a dumpster fire this year, right? Or no, Texas got beat. They got beat by Georgia. But all these teams that are losing right now, they're losing to teams that are pretty good. If any team gets into that top 12 and makes the playoff, like anything could happen. The worst thing that could happen for any of these other teams that are playing is any of those teams like Colorado, A&M, because now A&M's leading the SEC.
Yeah.
There's certain teams that if they catch a home game in these playoffs, it might be disaster for somebody because now you got to deal with that home crowd, right?
Oh, in the top 12, I agree. That's why I'm saying that top 12. There are teams in that top 12 I think Colorado could beat.
Especially in a home game if they win their conference.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm with Scott on that. When you look at it from a statistical standpoint, if they short up that offensive line and defensive line and put in got a good running back, man.
Yeah. I still think Colorado there's
a couple pieces.
And a couple of pieces. I can't say that they're soft because Warren Sapp got those guys playing really good defense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then you got to look at Shedeur Sanders is very accurate as a quarterback. I mean, this guy,
if he can get some protection, if he had some protection, if he had a line like an A&M line, he had, man, their line's good.
Hey, Blake, here you go. Former guest of the show.
Oh, Josh. There he is.
Said, will Buff fans still be Buff fans when Deion is either at the NFL or at Florida? Or
he won't go to the NFL. He'll go to Florida State.
He's not going to go to the NFL for sure.
Now he may go to Florida State, but I don't see him.
But he may. You know what?
If Deion walks on campus in Gainesville to be the coach, that might be the end of him, dude. I don't think Deion could live out. You're going to be the Gators coach, dude.
Bro,
for real?
He would. The Gators would be relevant again. I'll tell you that. They
would.
You know what? To be honest, I don't think. I think even after his son leaves, I think he'll stay in Colorado, because I think for him, I think the type of person that he is. I mean, yes, his son is great. Can't take that away. Travis Hunter pretty much is Deion's son. He's great. You can't take that away. Yeah. But even with that, those are 2 players. The thing of it is, man, the nature of Colorado Buffaloes has changed. And, you know what I mean? You get another good quarterback. He may not be as great as Shedeur Sanders is, or as accurate, or it may not be as much invested interest, right? But just think about it. You put a good quarterback behind Colorado's offensive line, and then, you know what, you can get another, his son on the other side, Silo, he's good, but I've seen better.
He's average. Yeah, he's average. He's an average corner. Yeah, he's decent, but he ain't great.
I would just tell you, man. I think they'll be okay. Travis Hunter is the wild card, though, because I don't think that you can replace that. Yeah, I don't think that you can replace that.
You can't. Who does he have behind them that you would say would keep him there? Like he would have to have a quarterback that he feels
but the
draft to be at the level or above.
That recruiting class, though, Matt, he's done great recruiting.
Yeah, at the quarterback position?
Hey, not at the quarterback. We haven't had to see it. But we don't know what he has.
I think Deion would have to believe that he has a quarterback that could be equivalent or wind up being a little bit better. Right.
But you don't think there's somebody on the sideline saying, "Hey, Deion."
I will say this though, Scott.
I mean, Colorado's going to beg him to stay. Yeah. Let's be honest.
They're going to throw money
at him to stay.
Yeah, with Travis Hunter, though, I wonder how great he could be if he was just a wide receiver. Because think about it. I mean, you play both sides. You get tired. I don't care what
he
shape
did
you're in.
100 and something
Could you-
snaps, bro.
Yeah, could you imagine if he only played one side of the ball, how dominant he would be, just completely dominant.
We're
Right
gonna
now,
see
Yeah,
this.
but
He's not gonna play.
when he goes to the next level,
He's not going to
teams
play.
are going to go this or this. This
Right.
is where we want you.
He's going to play wide
Then
receiver.
you'll see it. I don't know, man. He's a pretty good cover corner, man.
Yeah,
I'm
but I'm
Yeah,
not-
but I'm with Scott. I think he goes to the NFL and plays receiver because cornerback, bro. I mean, you're going up against the DK Metcalfs, and that's hard to.
too small. I think he's too
small.
I mean,
small.
that's true. But how many wide receivers in the NFL did he have to compete with to play? And how many true cover corners do you have in the NFL that can play good defense and have good hands and aren't going to get the ball thrown at their fucking face and drop it?
Hey, Bob, it's just his style. That's his thing.
I'm just saying.
It's his style.
I think he's got a better future
Yeah, as
in the
a
NFL
cornerback?
as a cornerback. Yeah,
Hmm.
playing defense, man.
I think
Because
that, look at
Don't-
the.
don't crucify me. Wide receivers are a dime a dozen in the NFL. Let's be honest. But cornerbacks that can cover those wide receivers, not a dime a dozen.
Look at,
Hard to
but,
get one that
I mean,
can lock people down.
Look at the guys from Georgia. Look at Lad McConkey. Like that dude is like killing it. I mean, you Travis Hunter is hands down.
I mean, Josh Hammonds. There's a whole bunch of short ass dudes that played wide receiver in the NFL and did real good.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the quarterback that's throwing the freaking ball. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's get to these picks. Come on, let's do it.
Let's go.
So last week everybody went 2-2.
Okay.
Pretty much the same as last week. Al and I are
Still
same
tied
record.
up.
Yeah.
But look at that. I'm still kicking ass. I
Go
love
back to that one more time. Let me see how far down I am.
You ain't even two
Not
games out.
that far.
There's a lot of games left,
You're
Scott.
5 games out of first. Don't worry about it. It's like
Okay,
the
Matt.
Yankees
Hey,
thinking
I
they're
like
gonna
how
win the World
Matt, I
Series.
like where Matt gets this confidence this year. Last year that motherfucker was crickets, just quiet.
No,
He
but
had
listen,
nothing to
last
say.
year I thought it was for fun,
Nah.
and it fucking wasn't.
so-
I'm like, shit, now I got to
It was. We didn't even put no bottles on it this year because I mean I still ain't got my bottles from last year. I did it from
down.
Scott's a man of his word. I appreciate that.
I'm not mailing liquor, dude.
No, I'll get it when I come
All right.
see you.
Come on.
Coming to the
All right,
fight
here we
at
go.
Scott's house.
So I'll take Notre Dame in the bye week.
Yeah, me too. Shit.
Oh,
I mean,
Georgia.
Josh did say
Florida.
that Georgia
I'm
won
going-
the bye week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going against my boys again. Georgia over Florida. Fuck
All
Florida.
right. Georgia, Florida. What you got, Al?
I'm going Georgia, baby. Fuck them Gators. Fuck the state of Florida. Fuck all y'all in the state of Florida. Y'all can all, you know.
Whoa! After you just
You're
said,
in the state of Florida, Al.
I know.
What you gonna do? Y'all heard me. Come on over to the house.
He lives in
Got something for you.
Hey,
Pensacola.
you know what's hilarious? If you take Al's ass out of the state of Florida, he'd be telling everybody everywhere that everywhere ain't shit except for Florida. People be
Yeah.
looking at him crazy, be like,
And
what?
this week, I'm
What?
all about fuck Florida. This week, I'm all about fuck Florida.
We're actually Bob Mayer. We're actually thinking about having our own team and having a cook-off. So
Hey, Scott, Ty, your
Podcast
boys
barbecue
never
maybe.
call me, bro. Nobody ever called me, dude.
We're gonna do our own shit. Don't worry about it. I know what to
Chrome
do.
Heroes, they didn't.
No, nobody ever reached out.
They'll call soon. I got the So Smoking Gooder show tomorrow. I'll see what's up.
Okay.
All right,
Boom.
Matt, what you got for Georgia, Florida?
Georgia.
I'm about to say, don't you do it, motherfucker.
No, I'm not taking Florida. Look, listen, there's some games that I'm looking like I'm a little nervous on. Dude, I think Georgia woke up, bro. Georgia's like, we've lost one game in 3 years. Y'all gonna disrespect us like this? Kirby Smart's just pushing that button, dude. He's just hoping that Carson Beck can hold off for a few more games and actually throw the ball. They're gonna do good.
I
got
would
Georgia
go against the grain to try to get myself on the scale, but not against Georgia. So I'm taking Georgia Bulldogs too.
Yeah, we've all got the Georgia Bulldogs. There's no way I'm picking the dumpster fire of the Florida Gators this year.
No.
All right, next game, Texas A&M versus South Carolina Gamecocks. What you got, Matt?
This is a scary one for the Aggies, bro. You know, the Aggies beat Mizzou. They shouldn't have. The Aggies took care of business against LSU, which was very surprising to a lot of people. South Carolina is that sneaky team this year, man. However, South Carolina starts well, they finish shit. So the Aggies are going to win.
All right. I didn't think you were going to pick against A&M. Go
Hell
ahead,
no,
Scott.
dude.
I too, man. Got to go with Texas A&M, bro. I've seen enough.
Learning. He's
I've seen
learning.
enough.
Sounds nice. Make it thrice. Let's go.
All right, I've got South Carolina.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Hey, Ty said I don't give a shit about winning this year. I just hate A&M. That's
Well,
cool.
I don't hate A&M. I have a block against A&M. I can't do it.
I think the bye week is going to beat the Buffaloes. I don't think the Buffaloes going to show up.
Hey, if there was a team that could lose in the bye week, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't think the Buffaloes are going to show up on the bye week.
All right, no neon
Bye week's at home too. The bye week's at home.
Dude.
I don't see them winning this game.
Oh shit!
All right.
All right.
Kentucky versus Tennessee. It is rivalry week, so Kentucky versus number 7 Tennessee.
Bro.
Go ahead, Ty.
It's your pick.
Go ahead, Ty. What you got, bro?
I am picking the University of Kentucky Wildcats.
You're out of your fucking mind. Tennessee's going to beat the doors off us, bro.
You already know. I told you, I'm not picking another Kentucky team in my life.
Man.
No,
go.
man.
Let's go.
Josh Heupel and boys ready to go. Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky.
Let's go Tennessee. I'm putting
All right,
10.
let me tell you all a funny story real quick. So when I lived at Fort Campbell, I was there for 10 years, and technically I lived on Fort Campbell for a while, and then I lived off post for a while. When I lived off post, I lived in Oak Grove. When I lived on post, technically I was on the Tennessee side. So when I went to register my car, they gave me a Tennessee license plate. For 10 years, I had a Tennessee license plate, but I hated it so much that I got one of those personalized license plates that had a University of Kentucky logo on it, just so I could since I had to have a Tennessee license plate. At least I could have a Kentucky on it. So
Hell yeah.
what I hate Tennessee is I don't even want to have their license plate on my car. So
No, I get it. But that's just like your bias. You're going to lose 2 games this week because you have very high moral values to your picks of teams.
Yeah.
I have no morals, and
if I would have won those games by picking the other teams, I would have felt terrible about myself. So
I wouldn't have. I'd have felt good as shit. I've been doing it all season.
Yeah, Josh, we're talking football. I think it's probably the same basketball.
Even Josh said in Neyland, Ty, like, bro, in Neyland, like under the Neyland lights, bro, you gonna pick Kentucky? Fuck Kentucky.
I got Tennessee.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bet my old buddy First Sergeant Keith Shoemate. We can put a wager on this if you'd like. You're probably watching, so you talk all that shit. So let's put a little wager. I'll give you a bottle too if Tennessee wins.
You'll never get that.
Dude.
Hey, don't worry. You'll never see that bottle, motherfucker.
Al,
I thought I gave you a bottle and more than just a bottle when you were at my house. Did I not give you your stuff?
No, but we drank a lot. I didn't get a bottle.
Oh, okay. I owe you.
We
drank.
So you drank his bottle of booze and you want a bottle to go home with?
I was a fucking guest. You shut the fuck up, Matt.
I'm always facing that, so I got you, homie.
Don't worry, bro. I'm gonna buy you a bottle of Boone's Farm. I'm gonna mail that directly.
We drink that.
Wild Irish Rose.
I'm from Georgia. I'll drink it on this podcast.
All right, so I assume Matt and Scott have picked Tennessee.
Oh yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is going to be the time when I make up some ground on you, motherfuckers. So
that's hilarious.
Love it.
Al, you gonna pick the Air Force over the Army?
Hell no, bro.
You got?
Golden Knights, baby. Let's go. Fuck them low flying Air Force.
Fucking right. It's about time that the Air Force get that ass beat. Army's winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Army as well.
Oh yeah.
You got the Army.
All right, so all of us scored their one.
Here you go. You ready? Are we going to the fucking Navy Rice game this weekend or what?
My wife is going to watch Taylor Swift on Saturday, so I'm flying her to Chicago on Saturday. So I'll be free.
Let's go.
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that yet. You know, the way my life is set up, something is liable to happen at any second. I can't look that far. That's like 3 days away. I couldn't tell you. You got to give me like Friday.
All good, or we could watch it.
Yeah. Anyway. But I'm taking the Navy anyway.
All right. Matt, who you got?
The Navy's going to beat the doors off of Rice.
Albert.
Same.
Rice is good with law degrees, bro, not football.
Bro, hey, after that Notre Dame beat, they about to come out there and fuck people up.
Dude, listen. Speaking of, did everybody pick?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's the only game I'm worried about with the Army now, is the Notre Dame game. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I thought that the Navy, because I'm a dumbass, I thought the Navy was going to squeak through. And then I was at the tailgate at A&M, and we're walking by, and it's the biggest fucking screen in the tailgate, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Notre Dame and Navy. The score was like this fucking big, and I went, "Oh, I'm gonna lose that one."
I don't think they let them in, Josh.
Not a good
They don't
idea.
have a conference. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Navy or Army sneaks in it with one loss. I think in the
Yeah.
top 12, they don't have a
I
conference
don't think
championship.
they
I don't think they
get
sneak
top
in.
15.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I don't-
Listen, yes, they do sneak in if they win their conference. Like I think they get in because they're ranked. All they got to do, like, listen. If
Oh yeah, they
Army
are in a
beats
conference.
Notre
Never mind,
Dame-
they're not independents. Never mind. You're right.
But their conference is considered a weak one. But if Army beats Notre Dame and goes undefeated,
Oh yeah, if
They're
Army
in,
beats
dude.
Notre Dame, they're in.
I'm telling you, they're in. They'll be in the
But,
top.
but
12.
Army, I don't know if Army beats Notre Dame, man. I don't know.
either.
I'm with,
I mean,
I'm
they
with
did
Scott.
get beat by Northern
Scott on the
Illinois
whole.
guys.
Notre Dame's a big. I mean, they're big boys. That's a.
Big.
Northern Illinois.
Anyway, hey, yeah, we got some good picks there this week, and shout out to Bud Wink, Bob Mayer, Josh Hammonds, everybody that's in the comments. Thank you all
Yeah,
for
thank
watching
you,
very
chat.
much.
Appreciate the
absolutely.
chat.
Hey, Bud, where you work? Put in the chat if you don't mind where you're working at, because I'm going to be down in that
He's
area.
in Port Richey, bro.
Oh, Port Richey. Yeah, I'll be north there. I'll be in Mexico
He
Beach area
got
this
he
weekend.
got some good Kentucky bourbon in Port Richey. That's worth the drive.
Well, hey, that's an excellent show, man. I really enjoy getting to talk to musicians since I like playing music myself. So, like I always say, music is definitely somewhere that we store the emotions, and being able to access some of that stuff, reminisce on some of the things we have, and then also get some healing out of it. That's a wonderful thing. So, if you're still listening, Scotti Fraser, I appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, and we look forward to working with you again soon here in the Houston area.
Yes, sir.
What you got there?
My Toby Keith signed guitar.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that thing got a missing string, bro.
Yeah, it's because my daughter broke my string. I don't play it, bro. I'm not a musician. I just hold it sometimes when I feel like I'm doing something. I just be out here just, it ain't even tuned.
Hey, that's only when he's on the back porch drinking all that whiskey. He's like, I can play a song, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, let's take us out, man.
All right. Well, it's been another wild one, another cool one, another you know what to do one. Thank you, chat. We appreciate you guys popping up, showing up, and being part of the show this afternoon or this evening, or whatever time it is. But it's Tuesday. Next Tuesday is going to be an important day. Even though there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, I know your TVs are going to be looking at who's winning on the red and blue. My only advice to you is, if you haven't done it yet, get out and vote, because your voice counts, right? No matter which way you're voting, just get out there and vote. It's your right, so make sure that you do it, all right? And that's all I'm going to say on that one. But as far as the fellas, my brothers, I love you guys. Scotty, appreciate you coming in. Like I say, chat, you know where I'm at. I love you guys. Make sure you guys stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your battle buddies. Check in. Spread some love. Do something positive for yourself. And continue to stay on the train of life and wherever it's going to ride you forward. All right? I'm going to bring my guys back in so they can say their last words. But I am DJ Royalty. You know it's all love with me. My man, Al, what you got for us?
Same old same. Just want to, kind of echo your sentiments. And I wish I could have been on earlier in the show to hear Scotty's whole story. Sorry I missed it. But again, to what you said, get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, but make sure you go exercise your right. A lot of people fought and died for these rights that we have today. So get out there and vote. I'm penciling in Ty Cobb's name, so he'll get one vote in this election because I think he's a better candidate. So I'm voting for Ty Cobb.
All right. To my man, Matt. Where you at, big guy?
Well, just so you guys know, the coverage of the election is going to be boring next week. So if you want to be entertained about what the hell is going on, you should tune into us because we're going to have another great guest on election night. It's only fitting. Thank you, everybody that listens. Thank you, Scotti Fraser. SameFlagSameOath.com. Christmas is coming. Buy your gifts. Get your merch. And, just be a good person. Help in your community. Find somebody that needs help. Give them that same help. I love you, Becky. Love you, Sierra. Love you, Cole. And I will see you guys next week.
All right. To my man, my guy, my man, TY. What you got for me, brother? Wax poetic with his one time.
As always, I love this show. I love what we do. I love the human connections that we have. And when you can find someone that served and does some of the same things you do with music, it really feels good to know that, there's other people out there that share those same likes. We do all kinds of things here on the Triple Threat Vet podcast. We have a myriad of guests. We like to show different things. Throw that in your tool bag. If it works, that's great. But we are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'd love for you to watch. Be sure and like us on YouTube. We need some more subscribers over there. And I want to give a big shout out to Scotti Fraser, Christmas on the Front Line. I put out a Christmas record. Please go check it out. It's on Spotify. Go to ScottiFraser.com and, of course, SergeantRecords.com. And this weekend, I was actually at a family wedding, and I want to give a shout out to my wife, my beautiful wife. I've known since high school, dated her in high school, went to my junior prom. She allows me to do all this crazy stuff I do now, and I'm super in love with her as much as I was when I first met her. So thank you, Sarah. And then be cool, world. We'll see you next Tuesday. And worries may come and go, but Wu-Tang is forever.
Wu-Tang is forever. Sarah, storms out. Yeah, that's my song. Man, your wife is beautiful, Ty. I will say that. I think I can say that without you feeling a certain kind of way.
Oh, I smile. Absolutely.
All you guys got some beautiful wives, just like mine. I think one thing we all did get right is we all pick right. We all have some beautiful wives, man. I will say that all the way across the board. And that makes me happy. So I know that makes you guys happy. Now, I'll give you guys one word of advice. And in my life, I now know why I stay on the sidewalk. Sidewalks are made for your safety, right? You walk on the sidewalk and get where you need to go. Great wise man told me, he said, you know why they make sidewalks? I said, why? His reply was, because the streets aren't for everybody. If you know you ain't it for the street, stay your ass on the sidewalk. That's my advice for you, because the streets definitely are not for everybody. That's my word for you guys today. Love you guys. Be safe out there. This is a Triple Threat Vet podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royalty. Go see you, Buffaloes, Coach Prime. I'm with you all the time. But we out of here.